Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm here with a new YouTube video. We are going to talk about firms cost, revenue and objective, one of the chapters from IGCSE Economics 0455 topics. Okay, um, we are going to learn about cost, how cost change by output, how revenue changes with output, firm's objective and change in profit and its effects uh, on the business or the company. Okay, so my name is Dwaj and we are going to cover one of the topics of economics IGCSE, GCSE or O levels. I just realized that they have the same portion. So everyone O levels, IGCSE, GCSE people can watch my video. So yeah. So first we'll cover the first subtopic, which is cost. Okay, so this is the data that we have over here that we are going to use in the video for the cost subtopic. Okay, so fixed cost. What is a fixed cost? Fixed cost is the cost that does not change with change in output in short run. So basically, fixed cost, for example, if you start a business and you have machineries, so that machinery is fixed cost. If you're producing 10 goods with those machines, the cost won't change. If you're producing 20, you will be using the same machine. You won't buy an extra machine, right? If it exceeds the capacity, then of course you will buy a new machine for your company. I hope you understood. Average fixed cost is the cost per output. It's really easy to understand. Cost upon the output, and when you have fixed cost, the average cost falls with increase in output. So there are two graphs that you can see. Fixed cost does not change with output. The first graph shows that, and the second is average fixed cost, which shows that the average cost is falling every time when the output increases. Okay, variable cost that changes with change in output. Average variable cost is the variable cost per output. So for example, if you're producing plastic bottles, so the amount of plastic that you require changes with the change in output. If you're producing 10 plastic bottles, you need, for example, 10 uh, for example 1 kg of plastic. But if you're producing 100 plastic bottles, you might need 10 kgs of plastic in order to produce 100 plastic bottles. So it changes with change in output. Okay, so the first graph shows that cost increases with change or increase in output. So it is directly proportional. Okay, average variable cost is the variable cost per output. As the term says, average means uh, it means that average cost upon output, and over here it starts to decrease and then again increases. Average variable cost, as you can see on the screen, these graphs are actually like plotted with the data, but in the textbook it is a smooth curve. Average variable cost, if you open your books, you can see that it's a smooth curve for a average variable cost. It is like a parabola. Yes. Next we have the total cost. Total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost, and total average cost is total cost upon output. Yes. So the first graph, the white one, shows that the fixed cost is the orange line and the total cost would be the yellow line. The yellow line indicates fixed cost plus variable cost, which keeps increasing with increase in output. Total average cost, it falls with uh, increase in output. Okay, these graphs are really helpful, because if you have a 6 markers which says using a graph, or if you have a question on revenue, cost, and all of these question on this chapter, you can actually draw a graph, and you can get at least 2 or 1 mark for drawing a graph, because it makes things clearer for the examiner, and it showcases that you are clear with your concept. Okay, so always remember that. If you cannot understand what I'm saying, just like go back, play the video again from where you did not understand, and yeah. So our next subtopic is revenue. Revenue is the income generated from normal business operations and includes discount and deductions from returned merchandises. Okay, so that's revenue. Um, this is the data that we are going to use for the subtopic revenue. You can pause the video, you can read through the data, and you can come back to the data, like while I'm explaining the other topic, if you just want to clarify things. Revenues in perfectly competitive market. A rise in sales of perfectly competitive firms has no effect on price. In this case, total revenue rises consistently as more quantity is sold. Okay, perfectly competitive market. If it's a perfectly competitive market, the revenue will increase with increase in output. Okay, if you're selling those output at the same rate, then your total revenue will increase. Average revenue average revenue is basically the price of the product. Okay, so total revenue upon output is the average revenue. Next, we have revenues in an imperfectly competitive market. In most markets, however, firms are price makers and need to lower prices to sell more. Average revenue falls as the quantity sold rises. Total revenue rises at first, reaches a peak, and then falls beyond a certain level of sales. Okay, this happens in an imperfectly competitive market where the total revenue increases to a point, reaches a peak, and then starts to decrease in an imperfectly competitive market, because when the prices have reached like its maximum, okay, um, people will stop buying the product, or it will just become more elastic. Okay, the product will become more elastic and the demand will keep falling. This will reduce the revenue of an uh, firm. So this will also decrease the total revenue of the firm. All right, average revenue is total revenue upon output. Okay, and it falls as the output increases. Objectives of firm. What are the objectives of firm? So first objective is to grow. Okay, growth is the first objective. Increasing the size of the firm may bring several advantages. High and expanding sales tend to enable firms to take advantage of numerous internal economies of scale, and so, for instance, to rise financially. Okay, so they are, if you grow, you will have more profits, or you can enjoy more economies of scale. Economies of scale is when uh, is basically the advantages of growing. Okay, growing the firm or expanding the firm, the advantages of those are known as economies of scale. So there can be numerous advantages. If you grow, you'll need more raw material. If you need more raw material, you might buy it in bulk, and the um, seller or the supplier might reduce the price because you're buying that raw material in bulk. So that is one of the advantages to a firm. So that's why they want to grow. Next is survival. Of course, anyone will want to survive in a market. They want their business to survive in the market to earn profits. When firm starts, their initial objective is to survive in the market. If they don't survive in the market, they won't earn profits. This will not help them take advantages of growing the firm, because they are not growing, they cannot grow because they don't have profits. um, and this will not help them, or the, so this will just not help them, because their objective is to survive in the market, to earn profits, to expand, and to earn more profits. Okay. Next is profit maximization, of course, and anyone's or everyone uh, first motive is to earn profits from a business. That's why they open their company, or they start a business. So making as much as possible. Total profit is equals to total revenue minus total cost. Average revenue is sorry, average profit is equals to average revenue minus average cost. Okay, we have learned about average and total revenue. uh, Profits are maximized when there is a great positive difference between revenue and cost. Okay, so when there is a positive difference between revenue and cost, at that moment the profit is maximized. So for example, if your revenue was $10 and your cost was only 5, the profit is $5. But when your revenue increases to $20 and your cost falls to for example, to $3, you are having uh, that profit of $17. So you have achieved profit maximization. That's You have achieved that objective. Okay, these are the basic formulas. Profit is equals to revenue minus cost. Cost is equals to revenue minus profit. Everyone should know this. But still I'm telling you. Okay, they might ask you in the case study to calculate the profit of the country or the firm that they have given in the case study material. Okay, so you need to learn formulas also. They ask for basically 2 or 1 mark, but of course you need to gain those 2 marks or 1 mark, whatever, not more than 3 marks for sure. Profit satisficing. In some cases, firms may engage in what economists call is profit satisficing. Um, this involves making enough dividends to keep shareholders happy by pursuing other objectives. This can be done by sacrificing their profits in order to improve staff facilities or to get their raw materials from more sustainable and cheaper sources. So, if there is profit satisfying, they can earn further profits in long run. They can also keep their shareholders happy. This will increase the number of shares in their firm in the market. Okay, so this is one of the objectives that a firm is looking for: profit satisfying. Change in profit. Okay, changes in profit. Effects of change in profit. It will encourage firm to enter competitive market. So if they have more profits, they can enter a competitive market where the cost of production uh, or setup cost, establishment cost of the firm is high. So they can enter a competitive market because they would have more profit. Expand their business. Of course they can expand the business because as I told you, they can take advantages of economies of scale and expand their business so that they can earn further profits in long run. Have more finance to update capital equipments. More shareholders will buy shares. As I told you, profit satisfying. uh, yeah. Next we have ways to increase profit. These are like the obvious ways. Reduce cost of production, reduce any inefficiency and wastage. uh, like you might be wasting, like I gave an example for plastic bottles, you might be wasting, out of 1 kg of plastic, you might be wasting 100 grams of plastic, which could have uh, produced at least one bottle out of it, or for example one cap of the bottle or anything. Okay, they could have produced anything from that 100 grams of plastic that they have wasted, so they can recycle, reuse that plastic. Okay, this will reduce the cost of production, rise sorry raise revenue, taking advantages of economies of scale. Advantages of economies of scale, as I told you, buying economies, the the buying raw materials in bulk, that can give you one of the advantages, and this will reduce the cost of production. Okay, uh, so this point is applied for reduced cost of production also. Okay, next we can have selling economies of scale. Over here, the transportation cost can fall. So for example, if a car can take 10 bottles, plastic bottles, to a place, they can take 20 bottles in that same car. So the cost of transport per bottle has decreased. Okay, so reduce in cost of production, and there are many economies of scale. You need to watch firms chapter for this uh, slide to understand, like economies of scale. If you want, you can apply those over here. Next we have few questions that I'm going to help you, or I'm going to solve with you. Okay, a company in Ghana wants to maximize its profit in an imperfect market, for which the company found all the costs, revenue and total profits made. Define what is meant by profit maximization. Profit maximization is an objective of a firm where the firm wants to earn maximum profits. You can give the formula for profit, which is revenue minus cost. You can also say the firm's objective is to increase the gap between revenue and the cost in positive manner. Okay, if you understand what I said, or you can just reverse back to that slide. Um, Define what is meant by profit satisficing. So let's go back to that slide. Satisficing, you can say uh, this involves making enough dividends to keep shareholders happy by pursuing other objectives. It includes sacrificing profits in order to improve, for example, staff facilities, or to get raw materials at a cheaper rate. Okay, so you can give these two points to explain profit satisficing. Explain in two ways profit can change the company. So change the company, it means affect the company. So this slide, it can encourage firms to enter competitive market, as they can now afford to buy more capital equipments, which allows them to enter the competitive market. They can expand their businesses, they can have more shareholders in their business. Okay, so you can include all four of these points, like, but you need to merge 2 points together and make 2 points. Okay, using a graph, analyze effects of change in output on average revenue. Okay, so first thing first, this question is a 6 marker. It says using a graph, so you need to make a graph. You need to make a graph, and then it says effects on change in output on average revenue. Now you might be thinking average revenue, but there are two graphs for average revenue, right? So for this, you need to go to the paragraph given at start. A company in Ghana wants to maximize its profit in an imperfect market. So these are the small things that we lose onto. So imperfect market, we need to look for imperfect market average revenue. Okay, let's go back to that slide. So effects of increase in output on average revenue in an imperfectly competitive market. So over here, you can draw this graph that's given down over here. you need you first 4 marks for graph. You need to label the axis, average revenue and output. Okay, no need to put on values on the axis. Okay, then you need to draw the graph, uh, indirectly proportional graph where, okay, if I know you can understand what I'm saying, draw the graph, the orange line, and now you need to explain the effects. Okay, you can say if the output increases, the average revenue will decrease in an imperfect competitive market. Okay, and if the output decreases, the average revenue will increase. You need to write this. You can also write the relationship between average revenue in an imperfectly competitive market and output. Yeah, so you can write this, you can draw this graph, you need to label the axis, you need to draw the graph to gain total 6 marks. 6, 5, anything is okay. Oh, sorry. Um, so yeah, so we are done with the questions. So guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so that you are notified when I drop out a new YouTube video. And yeah, thank you for watching my video. And if you have any questions, you can email it to me on my email address as you can see on your screen, or you can like drop me a message on Instagram. It will be linked, and yeah, it will be linked down below in the description box. And thank you so much for watching my video. If you want to, you can scan this QR codes for Snapchat and Instagram from your mobile. You'll get my ID, of course. Anyways, bye guys, and do watch other videos, other playlists that I have made for you guys for IGCSE, O levels, GCSE, or anyone. Basically anyone can watch this. It's information. There would be no harm watching informative videos. I'm pretty sure with that. Anyways, I have to go. I'll come back with a new video soon. Okay, bye guys.